Oh, hello there. Yes, I'm making this and I'm being a bit of a jerk while I'm making this. But November 18th of this year, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet releases, and I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream, and I would like to see you all there. That's right, November 18th. That's a Friday, 24-hour stream. I will be doing it, and I will be having fun. So come on by, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, do all that stuff, and yeah, we'll have fun. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with a brand new video, and to this video we're talking about Warner Brothers again, because I actually enjoy talking about Warner Brothers. I find them interesting, and I enjoy watching where these companies are going, because I do think Warner Brothers is going to be going in an interesting area, and I'm excited to see where it's going. I came across this article because I think it was a Kotaku article or a Polygon article talking about how Zaslav was gonna be selling HBO shows to other platforms and stuff like that, and didn't want to use Kotaku. It was either Kotaku or Polygon. I cannot remember the original source. But instead of using them, I went straight to the Hollywood Reporter to get it from their mouths, which they reported on. And other than one questionable quote, it actually paints an interesting position for Warner Brothers and where they might be going moving forward. Not exactly painting out a broad brush, but some ideas that they're doing to save money and to potentially make money and possibly some interesting things moving forward. And we'll see what happens, but god dang it. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav talks weak advertising market, DC plans, and HBO losses. James Gunn and Peter Safran are coming close to the end of finishing the roadmap for DC Studios. And that's the part I'm going to be most interested in this whole thing. I think there's a lot of interesting parts in this article, and we'll be skipping over one quote because it's so disturbing. It's mainly an article talking about how Zaslav plans on making money for Warner Brothers. In a wide-ranging conversation hosted by RBC Tuesday morning, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav painted a pessimistic picture of the macroeconomic environment, but expressed optimism about his company's plans to get to the other side of it. I cannot speak. And nowhere was Zaslav more pessimistic than the advertising market, which he described as very weak in the discussion with RBC's Kudagan Maral. This is the weird quote that I cannot figure out where the heck it comes from, and it just feels out of place when you read it. I think he saw it maybe a little bit more with us because we don't have a local and we don't have a sport. Zaslav said, nothing that now that the NBA and NHL are back, and with March Madness on the horizon, its ad business should improve. So I think and I'm being honest here, I don't know what they're talking about exactly. I think it's the advertising area, but it's so weird, but that's just a weird quote in a weird area. Still, Zaslav notes that the ad market is weaker than it was during COVID, and that could change quite quickly. You know, right now, this is a pretty big miss of the whole Christmas season. A lot of this is a product of, well, inflation. Let's just be real. It's inflation. Been talking a lot about the economy, the quarterly earnings and stuff like that on this channel right now, just because that it's in the news. But a lot of these issues is mainly because the core earnings are coming in. We're in massive inflation. Everything's getting shut down and having issues. So yeah, ad sales are down. Ad revenue's down because nobody's going out and buying because the economy's in shambles. Zaslav also touched upon other parts of the company's business lines. At DC, which is now being led by filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran, Zaslav said that the pair are coming close to the end of finishing a Bible for DC, an entertainment term that for a document roadmap that outlines key characters and plot points. That's where I'm most interested in this. This is something that I'm super interested in, and I think is going to be very interesting. They go into more financial areas here, but this is possibly, you know what, I think I'm going to just talk about this for a little bit. This is very interesting because what they're doing is they're laying down that roadmap. Like I said, you're going to start here, you're going to end here. You got 4 movies to get through. Well, 3 movies now to get through before this James Gunn Safran DCU, not DCEU, it's just the DCU, fully starts up and we start seeing what they have planned. I am extremely curious as to what they are planning on giving us, and I am extremely curious on where we're going with all this, because we could have a very interesting DC coming up, especially if you take this next quote and this next quote into account. I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans, Zaslav said. So you're not going to have 4 Batmans. That means we're going to have 1 Batman. What's the plan? Because you have that Batman. Now that I'm talking about this, I think the rest of this article is actually going to come into handy because, and I'm talking this out loud as we go along, I'm doing a lot of this off the cuff and I'm putting stuff together, so that's how my videos work. Okay, I'm starting to put things together. I see where this is going. And so part of our strategy is drive the hell out of Disney, which James and Peter are going to do. Disney. Drive the hell out of DC. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill over a period of time. Let's not be hasty here. When it came to The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn movie, one of the main reasons it failed was because the DCEU was in just shambles. Nobody knew where it placed in the world. And the Suicide Squad, which was prior, was tainted. The name Suicide Squad was tainted because of that prior movie. So that's the only reason it really tanked, because not a whole lot of people went to go see it. Altogether, it was a pretty decent film that I actually enjoyed and I watched periodically. It has some issues, but altogether it's very character driven, and that's what James Gunn is really good at. So they have actually thrilled the fans. You get that one cut from Black Adam that was leaked onto YouTube, and all it is Henry Cavill. So a lot of people have been talking about DC and where are we going? What's happening? And people are excited and people are talking about it again. First time in years that we've been talking positively about the DCU. Elsewhere, Zaslav disclosed that Warner Media's HBO business lost $3 billion last year after spending almost $7 billion on content. So one of the things they are doing is taking a closer look at what people are watching on HBO Max and deciding where to spend going forward. We are right-sizing HBO Max. More content that people love, more original content, Zaslav said. In other words, removing content that people aren't watching and adding more shows and movies that they believe people will watch and enjoy. It's very simple. Very simple, and their plan to do it is fantastic because it's basically common sense. Excuse me. That's the best part about this Warner Brothers thing with David Zaslav, is a lot of his decisions he's making is just basic common sense. Just practicality. Okay, what do people want to watch? Okay, give them more of that. That's basically what we're getting. And that's why we're excited to see where it goes. It could be utterly crap, but it's still exciting and still fascinating where we're going. We haven't had a company care about fans and care about what people actually want to watch and want to engage with since 2016, maybe even before that. We haven't had a company do that. So that I'm really enjoying this. Our whole library went on HBO Max, and we weren't selling any of it, but it was all on there. Now, all that could have worked, but we looked at it and we said, most of this is not being watched, or we don't think anybody is subscribing because of this. We can sell it non-exclusively to somebody else. Look at this huge library that we have. So what they're basically saying is you could potentially have, I'm trying to think of an HBO show. Euphoria. No, let's go Game of Thrones. Even though I'm pretty sure a lot of people signed up for HBO and HBO Max to see House of the Dragon, but let's use House of the Dragon as an example. Instead of keeping House of the Dragon solely on HBO and HBO Max, you can have it on CBS. You can have it over here. You can have it on Netflix. You can have it over there. You can do all this stuff instead of just keeping it here where you're not making very much money, if any money at all. Now, House of the Dragon is just the initial idea that I came up with because House of the Dragon was good. But you can do this with the DC animated universe that I'm watching over again. You can start doing that again. You can start putting your content out like we used to on Netflix and everything like that. Netflix, Hulu, mainstream channels again. That's a smart idea. When all the companies started consolidating all their content onto streaming services, a lot of companies ended up finding out that, hey, we don't have that much, and a lot of the stuff, well, we have a lot, but a lot of the stuff people actually like to watch is like maybe a handful of shows, and everything else is just crap. Peacock comes to mind. A lot of people that pay for Peacock or go to Peacock, all they're watching is The Office and Parks and Rec. I wanted to say Arrested Development, but no, that's still on Netflix. Those shows are what's being watched over on Peacock, and that's my best example. Paramount, you have Avatar. Not a lot of people watch Star Trek anymore, let's be real. HBO Max has the biggest selection, but you still limit yourself to some of the stuff you have. When you put it on multiple platforms, you get more money out of your buck. So you can do more when you basically do this, and you can sell it to a non-exclusive to do the non-exclusive, kind of like in the gaming market when we've been talking about the gaming market when in regards to Microsoft acquiring EA. Is it EA? Yeah, EA Blizzard. When you talk about that and the discussions around Call of Duty, Microsoft has a chance to get more money when they put it cross-platform versus solo platform. Same thing works in this situation. Instead of keeping it all on HBO Max, put a few things out over here, put a few things out over there, put a few things over there, because then you have people paying you more money to have this on their service. Now, a lot of these streaming services are going down fast. How is it going to work? I don't know, but it is a way to make more money. And also putting more money into what people are actually watching and wanting to pay more for is also a better idea. Zaslav also reaffirmed that the company will launch a free ad-supported streaming service to compete with Pluto and Tubi, and suggested that it would use the Warner Bros. Brand name in some way. Yeah, you also have to do that. Because, let's be fair, Pluto and Tubi is everywhere. A lot of people use Pluto and Tubi. I use Tubi quite a bit, actually, because it had Transformers Armada. They had all that. They had some pretty cool stuff on Tubi for a while. Haven't used it for a little while, but it's free. All I have to do is sit through maybe a few ads. I can ignore them. But a lot of these streaming services are going to have to go back to a free support, basically terrestrial TV, just a streaming ad format. because you're not making a lot of money. Streaming platforms were basically, they were always going to burst with COVID, so you're going to have a bunch of ad platforms now. And a lot of people aren't happy about that. And with regards to sports, he added that the company is interested in renewing its NBA deal, but it will be very disciplined in doing so. We don't have to have the NBA. And if we do a new deal with the NBA, it's going to look a lot different, Zaslav said. I'd like to do a deal with the NBA, but it has to be a deal from the future. It can't be a deal from the past. What does that mean exactly? I'm curious there. This is why I'm having fun talking about Warner Brothers. I'm having fun talking about what Zaslav is saying. What directions are they going in? I'm curious where everything's going. I'm excited for where DC's going. I'm excited where HBO Max is going. I'm curious what this NBA deal that they're talking about is going. Because depending on this NBA deal, we could start having a lot of people. The NBA could become less socially aware and more shut up and dribble if this deal is big enough and good enough for them. So with that, guys, give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it out with all your friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.